this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm still on Mars. Done a lot of changes and then a lot of experimenting over the last day. I didn't put a video on yesterday because I was experimenting with rockets, and I'll go over that in a second. I did add a lot of solar panels. I had a power issue with my electrolyzer. That's been solved. I now have 3 big batteries. Let's go talk about rockets for a second. So, I've come to the conclusion that you cannot do rockets on Mars to mine with volatiles and oxygen because you crash. You just can't generate enough thrust with the gas pressure rockets. The pumped rockets even have less thrust. So I'm becoming more and more disenchanted with rockets. I think they need to work on them. I really do. They don't perform adequately. I tried to mine ice. I was successful once. I have not been successful since because my rockets on landing get at 100% throttle at around 3,000 meters and then can't slow down anymore, and then they crash. I fill the tanks to 39 megapascals, I should say. 39 megapascals. You can't go any higher because then your pipes start to burst. I tried, and I'm still doing it, I tried turning down, or lowering the temperatures, and I can't lower them anymore. I'm at -1 here. Well, I can, but it would be a lot of effort. And -3 on the oxygen. So I've given up on mining on Mars with volatiles. You just can't get enough thrust. That's my findings anyway. Somebody may prove me wrong. So now I am going to nitrous oxide. I got a lot of work to do on this yet, so I'm not ready to launch this yet. I have to cool it to get rid of the liquids at this pressure, and it is starting to go down. I mean, it wasn't any there was no stress, no pipe complaining or anything like that. Well, here's a little bit of stress, but that's coming down. But it was well managed. But as the nitrous oxide went to liquid, the gas in here started heating up, and it was like a runaway. The more it heated up, the more liquid we got. It was, you know how those things work. But so I quickly threw a radiator on here and a turbo pump, and I've been circulating it through, and the temperature was up around 43, and it's been coming down pretty stable or steadily. So that solved that issue. As you can see, like I said, the stress is coming down, the amount of liquid is going down. So I still can't launch until I filter out all the nitrogen, which is what I'm doing here. Obviously I'm filtering the NO2 and expelling the nitrogen. So the nitrogen is going down slowly, but I got quite a ways to go yet. I may even add another filter on here. It's a very slow process. So that's in progress, and I'll probably, if I have time today, I mean, it's going to take a while to filter that out of there, that nitrogen. I guess there may be a way I can, no, because this is going to have nitrogen in it. So, yeah, there's no way I can do that. Anyway, thinking out loud. I was thinking maybe I could filter the NO2 out, or the nitrogen out, while I'm pressurizing my fuel tank, but that's not going to happen. Other changes, everything else is the same. I did add some windmills up there, which haven't provided me with much power, but they work well in storms. So in storms, if it's a day, they help to keep my batteries powered. I did do quite a few changes in here. I moved all my manufacturing in here. I'm also using Cowser Evil's auto restocking program. You can see this one's calling, well, probably doesn't need it anymore. You'll have to read up on his. Yeah, see now it says it needs gold, and it automatically puts the gold in there. I'm not supposed to have to hit the button, but I seem to have to hit it more than, it may be the way I have it set up. I mean, you basically, as you're printing stuff, you can just set the, say if I want, well, let's do it up here. If I wanted 50 cables, I could just hit the cable button and leave, and after it gets to 50, it shuts it off. You use the stacker to control in other words, I could set it for 50, leave, and it'll print 50, and if I set it for 50 without this and leave, it'll print, 200 if I forget about it. So once it gets to 50, it shuts the printer off, or shuts the printer down. It doesn't turn it off, but it does shut it down. It doesn't work perfectly. It's cool. I may have something set up wrong, because I have full confidence in the stuff Cowser Evil does, and it's more me than him. I don't know exactly what. Sometimes when it feels like, if I was doing shoots earlier, we'll get into that, I had 30 shoots in here, and every time it got to 10, it would stop and not expel it. It's supposed to expel the 10 shoots and keep printing. It wasn't doing that. And again, it might be the way I have it hooked up. I just copied and pasted his program in here from his workshop site. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I'm wondering, is this actually hooked up to the... Yeah, that's hooked. I was just making sure that was all hooked up to the... I got a power controller here. Wanted to make sure all that was hooked up, and it is. I did end up putting a cooler in here. It was getting up to 39, and my plants were wilting no matter what I tried. I guess it was all the equipment that I got in here now. So this kicks on at 25 and turns off when it's above 25. So now I did have to break down, put a cooler in here, which is unfortunate. I was hoping I didn't have to. It doesn't use much electricity. It's just a wall cooler hooked up to exterior pipes and radiators. It's easy to keep it cool in here in Mars. Not a big deal. Did put an oven in here, a food processor. I am now eating bread, which I put out in a previous video is a perfect food. It lasts forever. Oops, unless you drop it on the floor. It lasts forever, and it allows you to bring your water up to 175. It's really my staple food at this level. Of course, I ran out of water. Trying to demonstrate something. Trust me, it'll let you bring your water up to 175. You don't have to drink as often, and it's quite handy. So really, that's my staple food. I expect them to nerf that sometime in the future because it's just too easy. I have all my... I did add some Harveys, as you can see. I'm up to 20. I did add everything into my refrigerated vending machine. That's going to be in the future for trade. I do still manually replant things. I may in the future figure out a way to automatically find out if the Harvey has a seed. If it doesn't, call it from this vending machine to replant it. That is a future thing. I'm not quite there yet. There's going to be some programming for that, I believe, and hopefully I'm up to that level. But that is a wrap-up of the new changes at my base. Let me know what you think. I did bring the water in from that outside tank. I don't know if I covered that. But this one I'm just running out. Once this runs out, I'm going to move it over there. I tried moving the water over to the other side, and it was just like back and forth, back and forth. I said, you know what, I'll just drink it. When it's empty, I'll move everything over there. It was too much running back and forth. So, this worked out well. This is the one time that I got water. I was up to 200 and something liters. I'm up to down to 159, but that's because I was using the electrolyzer to make hydrogen, you know, the volatiles, and then that didn't work for the rocket, so I turned that back off. Eventually I'll use these volatiles, and oxygen's always a good thing to have. I got it, you know, one of the bad things about a big tank, you look at it, oh, he's only got 635 kilopascals. Yeah, but I got 14k moles. That's the thing you got to look at. 14k moles is a lot of oxygen. If you go to the smaller tanks, I haven't been over here in a while. That's only 3 moles, and that's 9 megapascals. So that gives you an idea. So these tanks would be full about 6k moles. That you'd be just about over pressurizing those tanks. And I got 14 over here. So the big tanks can be very deceptive. With that pressure, I was able to fill the rocket with no problem. Took a while, but big thing to watch when you're working with big tanks. Don't get too concerned about that. That's what you want to look at, how much moles you have in there. And you see in here I got 28k moles, and I got 1 megapascal. So and then here, well, I got a lot of nitrogen in here yet. It's going to take a while to filter that out. At least my liquid's about gone. There we go. Liquid's gone. Good timing. So I don't know how that affects this. It may slow down if there's liquid in there. But so that's where that stands. I am going to pressurize this rocket with nitrous oxide and volatiles. I was thinking about going liquid, but if you look at this, let's look at rocket engines real quick. Rocket engine. A tiny engine, I don't even know what that's for. I don't know. So you got your pumped gas engine, which I need 20.1 kilo, I think it's kilonewtons, don't quote me on that, but kN. I need 20 to land, so I can't use a pumped gas engine because the max it provides is 16.2. I don't know why pressure engine didn't come up here. Let's just do engine. Pump gas. Pressure fed gas engine. Now that's supposed to give you 40.3, and I think that's with nitrogen. So that's what I'm trying now, because I didn't get enough using volatiles on Mars. I think the max I got was 18, and I need 20.1. So guess what? I didn't have enough to safely land. I kept crashing. I got the minimum. What am I at here? I got the minimum weight on here. This is, I could take a battery off, but then when you're mining, you're really risking running out of power, because I've been down, I tried it with one battery and I've been down in single digits and not on the ground jet. And I'm like, whoa. So you kind of need 2 batteries. And all the rest of the stuff is the bare minimum equipment. I mean, I have the tank. I have the 2 umbilicals. You need the link. You need the avionics. You need the miner. You need the storage device. And the chutes to connect everything. So there's nothing on here that I can take off. I tried. There's nothing on there. I mean, I get rid of 1 battery, but it doesn't really save you that much weight. So I got the bare minimum. I only got 2 fuselages. That's the bare minimum rocket. And with volatiles, I cannot successfully land on Mars with a mining device. With a scanner, which apparently is lighter, I can, but not with a miner. And that doesn't even count, because you can hold 50 units of liquid in here, and I tried it with 10 and still didn't have enough thrust to land. So I don't know. I'm a little confused. Like I said, we'll try nitrogen. It'll be a while. I still got 10 kilomoles of nitrogen in there, 60% nitrogen. And I still may have to add more nitrogen to fuel my rocket completely. I did decide that one of the questions I had with the pressurized rocket is, where do you get your pressure from? So when you start, this is at 39 kilopascals, the tank, but it goes down as you land. So when I start landing, I have like 20 megapascals in here. Does that mean I'm getting less thrust? Because I can only go to 40. I've tried it. The pipes start to really groan at 40 megapascals. So I can't put more in here. I know that they say that these are, I thought they were rated for 60 megapascals, but when I got these to 40, when it started going above 40, they started to complain. I was like, whoa! So I can't get it any higher than 39 megapascals safely. I don't know what the tank will hold, but how do you get it higher if the pipes can't stand it? Lots of questions about rockets. I think they really need to work on rockets. I will let you know. I'll pause. I'll stop it at this point. I will let you know either today or tomorrow. I'll try and put it into one video. If nitrous oxide works, because what I don't understand, and it even says you can use nitrous oxide will result in an even higher thrust. Well, that's kind of misleading, because this says 40.3. Does that mean with nitrous oxide or with volatiles? Even higher thrust, does that mean even higher than 40? Not very descriptive. And I think that's kind of the thing with this game. They want you to figure things out yourself, which is kind of fun. At some point it gets a little frustrating, especially when you read that and it says I need 20 kN or 20.1, and you can see that on here. Maybe I should point that out too. I might have to turn this on and that on. Here's your important numbers. Dry mass is the weight of the rocket. This mass, the wet mass, is weight with fuel on. Now, as you can see up there, it tells me I need a minimum of 20.1 of thrust required to land. I got that. For some reason, I got that on when I was doing scanning. It worked. But mining, I had to fight. I reloaded the game probably 15 times. Tried different atmospheres, different settings here. Tried manually landing it, and I actually did better manually landing it. I had it the ground velocity very slow, and then it would go down to like 10, and then as it got to 3,000 feet, it would start to go up because I was at 100% thrust and couldn't slow it down anymore. So it would go to 10 meters per second, and then 11, and then 12, and then this would change to impact. I just could not provide enough thrust to not crash, no matter what I did. So we're going to try that with nitrous oxide to see if I can successfully do it. I've never used nitrous oxide in a rocket before. So I will pause this here, and once all this nitrogen is out of here, I'll start loading the rocket. I think I can get away. I don't know if I want to load this to 39 megapascals. I probably should. But if I load it to 39 megapascals, I don't know if 6 kilomoles is going to be enough. We'll find out. I hate to have to add more later, but well, it's down to, it is going down, the nitrogen, so it went down a kilomole. Now that they got the liquid out of there, it does seem to be going down faster. Okay, well anyway, I'm getting off the beaten path here. I'm going to pause it. Hopefully you come back and watch, see if nitrous oxide works better in the rocket. I'll update this at the end of it. There are some things, of course I've done rockets. I've done the electrolyzer, so I can get rid of both of those, but we'll do that later. Again, Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm going to pause it here, subscribe and like. The second part of this, if I get to it today, will be a rocket with nitrous oxide. And we're coming back after quite a long break. I'm still filtering the nitrogen out of my nitrous oxide. I'm just about done, but the last little bit's taken forever. But I had kind of a brainstorm. It's a little messy in here, but this was like puzzle palace, trying to put this together, trying to figure out how to make this to work. So, kind of an interesting thought that I've never seen anybody do before. I've always hated coming in here and reseeding these, and I've always wanted a way to automatically reseed Harveys. And I haven't seen anybody do this before. So what I've done is I put digital flip-flops in front of every Harvey. And what I've done is I put a stacker here. I've got the seeds being sorted by this sorter that's on top of my, right there. And right now I only have soybean and wheat seeds planted. So I've only got soybean and wheat seeds set up there because this is kind of a test. So every time a Harvey harvests a seed, it'll come through and get sorted and sent over here to this stacker, which is set for 1, which then feeds it back into the delivery side. Now how do I sort? How do I know, tell it which one to go to? So with these digital stackers, with this one, I got this set to 1 and to 11. So this is only going to send 1 in here for every 11 that it gets. And I have 12 Harveys, but the last one doesn't need a digital thing. So this will be 1 to 1, which means for every one that makes it over here, 1 goes in there and 1 goes in there. And then you count down, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4, and so forth, all the way down to 11 to 1. So every time this thing sends 11 seeds through here, it'll fill every one of the Harveys and then start back over again. I thought that was kind of genius myself. It took me a while. I'm sitting here thinking, how do I make a method to restack these? Now I could loop this around a little further. This room's a little tight for that. I might make a new room, a bigger room where I could like go around the outside, because you know you have to have your refrigerant in here. And now I got a stacker coming in and out, but I can move that around. But you only need 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Here comes the lights. So I could start this back over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I had a bigger room, I could like put another loop in the inside here and just match the chutes up. But like I said, I've never seen anybody do this before. And I tested it. It works. I mean, it filled every one of the Harveys. Is that one okay? Right. But like I said, I only got soybeans and wheat harvested. I could actually put anything I want in here. I should put a chute here. But anything that grows, like if I wanted to add corn in there, it doesn't have to be wheat this time and wheat the next time. It could be corn. It would just cycle through. Kind of neat. I just thought that was interesting. So it works. So there's an idea for everybody to automatically refeed your Harveys, the seeds. So let's go out. Don't mind the mess. I tore this entire room apart and rebuilt it. So I have a lot of extra spare parts over there. But let's go see where I'm at. I don't know if I'm going to get to this today, because like I said, I don't want to take any chances with having any nitrogen in here, and I've got a minuscule amount last time I checked. And it's just taken forever to filter out this last bit. Yeah, it's 0.38. I would imagine another 5 minutes or so, but look at how it just takes forever to filter that out of there. Next time I do this, I may filter it like, there goes one. I might filter it in like a smaller tank. I think it's because it's such a massive tank. I don't know for certain. But I don't want to risk even have 0.001% nitrogen in there, because I want this to be a valid test. So as you can see, there it goes down another one. So I don't know, what was that? Let's waste a couple seconds here. Wow, it really just goes slow at this. Man. There we go. So what, about one every 15 seconds or one every 20 seconds or so? So I got 20 something in there, so it's going to be another 10 minutes. But and then I have to fill the tank, which is not a speedy process. I think I have a turbo pump over here. Yes. I have to face that the other way though, because I did that to drain the tank completely. So let's spin this around while I'm thinking of it. I think it's a, yeah. So I can just make this point the other direction. Perfect. Look at that, lined right up. So now when I'm ready, I've already got it all hooked up over here. I've got it hooked up to, hard to see, but I got it hooked up to the hydrogen, and then over here to the nitrogen. Kind of a squirrely way of doing it, but it's in there. I did not expect this to take this long. 33. But I might just use this as today's video, because I know it's going to take at least an hour or two, and it's evening here. And so I'll save tomorrow's video for the nitrous oxide rocket launch and test, basically, and see if it actually goes further. Basically, everything else on my base is going wonderful. Oh, speaking of which, I haven't picked up ores in a while. You got to pick up the ores. I have these going into a silo. Oh my gosh, good thing a storm didn't come. That would have been a waste. I'm not even going to have enough hands, I don't think. I could put the tool up here. That would let me put one down there, and I could pick up 2 more. Oh, something else I might have mentioned earlier. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I also put a couple flags out there. I had 20 of them. I said, what the heck, let's put a couple flags. Might as well use them. The rest of them I threw in the storm's destroyed. Whoa! Sucked a chute right out the door on me. I have a stacker here that I've been stacking these into stacks of 100, and then throwing them in here. This system's working pretty good. I mean, it automatically refills. There's something with the last one. I have to look at it. The last one in mine doesn't do what I expect it to do very often. Copper. I'm just going to put the gold in here because I don't get that much gold. But throw that over further. But I'm going to grab the rest of the ores, and then check the nitrous oxide one more time. I don't think I'm going to get to it today, but I kind of hoped I would. Right. Oh, well, I got 3 iron. Whew. Yeah, 3 iron left, so that's not too much. It should be due for a storm, actually. It's been a while. I'm not as worried about turning things off as I was when I first started this because, quite frankly, my power is not an issue at the moment. I do turn this off because I just flipped the switch here. I do turn that whole series off because, I don't know, it just seems like a smart thing to do. But tell me what you think of this. Have you seen anybody else do this? It's like a brainstorm. I said, why can't I use digital flip-flop switchers or splitters and just set the ratio to what I need it to be, and it works. I have not had a harvest yet, and I don't know where it's at right now. That's the only problem, is I know I'm over here somewhere. These, probably to about here. These all have seeds already, but it should go right up the line and then start back over and go right up the line. It's kind of cool. And I'm actually thinking of throwing some corn in there. Corn seeds. Do I need that many? I don't know. I'm going to start trading here pretty soon, and I'm basically doing wheat and soybeans so I can make bread, which I eat. I better eat this one pretty soon. Okay, let me go check the nitrous oxide. I honestly don't think I'm going to get to that today. Because it's just taken so long to get this last bit of... down to 23. Well, if I can get it in today, I will. But it doesn't look like it. Again, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I had an update. This is part 2 of the update for today. I just wanted to share with you the brainstorm idea I had for reseeding Harveys, which I don't think I've seen anywhere on YouTube. It works really well. Quite proud of it, actually. Alright, like and subscribe, and we'll see you probably tomorrow, because it's going to take a long time to refuel this rocket. So we'll do that tomorrow. Have a good day.